Tonight we're going to make a ham bone and bean soup. And this is the ham bone I had left from Easter. I was afraid it wouldn't fit in here, but it does. Now, I've never done this in a pressure cooker before. But I do know that when you're cooking beans, you can't fill your pressure cooker up more than halfway. And for each cup of beans, you have to put a tablespoon of oil in your cooker. So anyway, here's my ham bone. I'm going to put in 4 cups of water. Well, it's chicken broth. And I may need more. Yeah, probably will. I've got a large onion that I chopped and some celery. The recipe called for 3 stalks, and you all know if you watch my videos I don't care for cooked celery. So I've only done 1 stalk. But don't worry about catching any of these measurements because they'll be below in the about section. Alright, I'm adding 14.5 ounce can of diced tomatoes with the juice. I left a lot of meat on the excuse me, on the ham bone. If you didn't, you may want to add a cup or so of chopped ham. Alright, this is 8 ounces of tomato sauce. The recipe called for 12. Well, that would have meant that I had to open another can. And I didn't want to do that. So I'm just going to wash this can out with water and add that. It was this can that I washed out with water, not this big can. Alright. Now, I have a 20 ounce bag of 15 bean soup. Now, it comes with a flavor packet, but I'm not going to use the flavor packet because we're going to put our own seasonings in here. Now I've got over here, well, let me see, let me get it over here. If I can. While I'm doing this is 5 chopped carrots. And I want to tell you to get to know your pressure cooker. Most, I'm not saying all, but I'll say most pressure cookers that are electric only cook at 12 psi. And if you have a pressure cooker book, most of them will say to cook at 15 psi, which is high. So you have to allow for that when you pressure, because you're pressuring a little bit under what they want. So, and once you get to understand how your pressure cooker works, you won't have any problems. Now, this is probably 12 psi. I haven't checked. But you may also have a 12 psi electric pressure cooker, and it may take yours a longer amount of time, or it may take it a shorter amount of time. You have to learn to know your pressure cooker. Alright, the next thing going in is 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. This is Worcestershire and Dijon mustard. You can catch all the measurements below. Just kind of, even though I don't need to do that. And this is bay leaves. I didn't have any good sized ones. And this is parsley, chili powder, and black pepper. Now you can also use vegetable broth in this instead of, I use chicken You can use vegetable. Now the thing about beans, which I haven't added yet, beans love liquid. They love liquid. So I'm going to, excuse me, I'm going to put my 20 ounces of beans in here. These are not soaked. They came right out of the bag. I'm going to put them in there. And the how you know how long to cook this is by the beans that are in your packet. You have to go by the bean that takes the longest amount of time to cook. Alright. Now that's all that's going in there. I'm going to add a tablespoon of oil, maybe 2. I'm going to use olive oil because I think it'll give it a little bit of flavor. And I'm also going to add some water, but not very much because I'm almost to that halfway mark. Alright, there's my oil. The longest bean in my bag of 15 bean soup takes 35 minutes to cook. Dry, right out of the bag. So because I only have a 12 psi pressure cooker, I'm going to cook this. Instead of 35 minutes, I'm going to cook it 37 minutes. And the reason I only put 2 tablespoons of oil in here is because there is a lot of fat on this ham. And that is going to more than render what we need. Okay. I'll see you back when the 35 minutes is up. Alright, we're back. The bean soup is done, and as you can see, it's a very hearty soup. I just pulled the meat off the bone. I haven't chopped it up yet, but I set my pressure cooker on 38 minutes. Remember, I told you a lot of the timetables that you get for pressure cookers will be for 15 psi, and this is 12. So I'm going to pull some of this soup out. It smells wonderful. There's some big old ham pieces in there. The beans are done. Everything's done. But remember what I told you. Your pressure cooker may cook a little differently. You may have to set yours on 40 minutes, or depending on the bean. Now remember, you cook it, the length of the time, and I added a few minutes to the bean that has to cook the longest. So here's our plate. Let's see if I can get you down here. A little pound of cornbread. Nice big hearty spoon. Alright, now another thing I want to tell you, my ham was not salty at all. If your ham is salty, do not add salt. So I waited till the end, till everything was cooked, to see if it needed salt. And it does not, to me. Now I've got my trusty taster here, who's going to tell me how he likes this soup and cornbread. Let me get a good close-up shot for you, if I can. There you go. Just very hearty, very hearty. All right, I'm going to pass it to him.
Well, you know I like the cornbread. I've already eaten a piece.
Well, we're not. We're going to do the ham soup now.
Okay. Let me clear my palate.
Yeah, clear it real good. It's hot now.
Sure is.
How are the flavors in that ham from the spices and things that I added?
It doesn't need a thing, and it's very good. If somebody makes this, they'll enjoy it.
All right. Well, thanks, guys, for coming back in.
Of course, I'm starving. I didn't want to tell them that.
Well, they just heard it.
Oh.
All right. Thank you for coming back into my kitchen and spending part of your day with me. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe. And until next time, you all take care. Give this recipe a try. All the measurements will be down below in the About section. Take care.